Well, actually, imagine that someone throws you out of your houses for decades and for many years and claims your priority, and you have been consistently being shot and killed and arrested and humiliated and discriminated also and getting killed in this country. So this is really a huge problem that we have been through over than 70 years ago. So what I wanted to say, like 70% of population now are refugees. They can't return to their houses because of the occupation as longer as the occupations exist. I think that this is really misleading because I'm here for like I'm not a person, I'm not a spokesperson for Hamas. I'm a journalist, and before that I am human at the end. So what we have been through over, like before Hamas established, it's really like unbelievable thing. And let's not talk about, this is our war against the Israel, not war against Hamas, and this is war against civilians that have been killed and arrested and discriminated for decades. So what I wanted to say really about this, that let's not talk about Hamas. Let's talk about the occupation and the genocide and also the massacres and the ethnic cleansing that we have been through for over 70 years and over 80 years before. So I think that most of people, they really don't know what's the point of existence of Hamas in our country. Because if we want all the wars, that has a price at the end. So let's just shed a light and talk about the war in 2014 and the 2016, 2018, 2021, 2023, and what we have been through also and what we have been through in Nakba and catastrophe, which happened in 1948, and which was like Hamas not exist at that time. And we have this power, we have this force to define about them. Because if we want to talk about Algeria, they have been killed like more than 1 million of them. They have been killed when they want to get the resistance of and their freedom from France. Let's talk about the Irish. They have been fighting for decades to get their freedom from the British colonialism at the same time. And they got their freedom and their independence after decades and after many years, after even a bloody fighting. And why we don't talk about Ukraine and Russia also at the same time, when Ukraine has had to define about themselves, and people they don't consider it as a terrorist or as something that really it's not good, because everyone has to fight, and we are under occupation for many years. So I think that really it's misleading when we want to say and we want to talk about Hamas as a terrorist organization or something like this. Once we are ignoring what occupation and Israeli government they are doing, and we have been through for decades. So focusing on what Hamas, or because of they are the reason for what's going now on in Gaza. Because of them, we are ignoring the thousands of people who have been killed in many wars and many things. So we are ignoring the ethnic cleansing, we are ignoring the genocide, we are ignoring what Israel now is doing against the civilians in Gaza. Like we have never been this situation when Israeli strikes bombed the hospital and more than 2,000 of civilians have been killed, and most of 15,000 now got injured, and more than 1,000 who are lost now under the rubble, and they're gonna lose their lives. While we are not talking about the things that we have been through for like more than 20 years of wars and no electricity, no food, no nothing is there, nothing is exist. It's very important actually to focus on what's going now, on what's Israeli government they have been doing for over and over years against the civilians and against the Palestinians as well. I grew up in Gaza since I was like until 2020, and during this time I have been watched many wars like 2014 to 2018, and I was seeing the people are cutting in pieces in front of my eyes. I'm traumatized from what's really going and what happened to us and what happened to me, and that's why I left Gaza in some points, because I'm so traumatized. I don't want to complete my whole life under the rockets, under the bombing, under the occupation. So I wanted to seek for another place, for like much more safer places for me. And also I wish that for my family, but they can't like leave now everything now in Gaza, because really it's hard like to leave everything, and this is what shouldn't we do. Why should we leave our places and our homes and our lands in order to seek to another places which is more safer than the place that we are in? So my feelings is really bad now, because I lost like more than 3 of my friends in this war, and many of Palestinians have been killed, and many of my friends, which are journalists, have been targeted by Israel. I can't talk actually with my family. There is no like a strong connection because there is no electricity, there is no food, there is no fuel, there is no places to stay. So most of them, they fled from their places from the north to the south, and most of them, they are staying down in the hospitals and in the schools. But they bombed everything. They bombed even the mosques, the hospitals, the schools, the universities. People, they don't have anything to go now, and thousands of them, they are now in schools, and winter is coming. So there's no any ways actually to rebuild this what Israel destroyed the most. And yeah, I think that I have this kind of feelings that really annoy me so much, because when I wanted to talk with my family, I can't find any way actually to talk with them. And it's been 5 days I didn't talk with them, and I don't know if they're still alive or not. And yeah, and they got like my house in Gaza. It got like, it broke a little bit, and the windows all the windows broke, and my sister got injured, and they're just waiting for unknown fate, let's say. This is a huge genocide and massacres in Gaza that's going on, and the silence of the world now toward this is really like annoyed me so much, because I feel that I'm anger. I'm really anger more than I'm sad, because when I see like my people is getting killed by day, and no one is doing anything about this, I feel speechless. I feel that I'm not able to do anything. But I wish that people, they can raise their voices up, and they talk clearly about what is going on, and about this conflict that we have been through for more than 70 years ago. This is not just a war that happened before 2 weeks. We have been through this for decades. Actually, I have contacted with some of my friends, and they say that it's like an unbelievable scenes what we are going on now, because people now in shelters, in schools, in hospitals, thousands of them, because they don't have there is no electricity, there is no food, there is no fuel, there is no light, there is nothing there. So now people are just like waiting their unknown fate. They're just waiting, so they don't know anything about what will be the next. My friend, she's talking with me and she's asking me, tell me, what is the news? They don't know what's going on outside of Gaza. They're busy of their massacres and genocide. They're busy of their death of their friends. They don't have a time even to feel sad about anyone. They're in a shock. So the situation is in Gaza is getting worse. The situation is really horrible because there's nothing there, and it will take many years to heal, and it will take many years actually to rebuild all the things again from zero, let's say.